Voting ends in Ondo governorship elections. Sorting and counting begin. North regains freedom 6 years after Boko Haram abduction. Abuja residents decry Naira scarcity, POS charges. On the foreign scene, Gabon votes a new constitution hailed by junta as turning point. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us. Voting has ended in the Ondo governorship election hours after the exercise began across the oil-producing state.
RP,
in some parts of the state, the exercise ended around 2:30 p.m. with sorting and counting of votes already in process. However, voters who arrived at the polling units but were yet to cast their ballots before that time will be allowed to do so. The election began around 8 a.m. in the 3,933 polling units of the southwest state. Materials for the exercise arrived in some places as early as 6 a.m., with officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) ramping up preparations for the poll. After exercising their franchise in the election, the top contenders, however, differed in their assessment of the poll.
We're having our elections in a peaceful environment, and this very one will not be different. The citizens, they are law-abiding, haven't been decided for the past 10 months. They still have been very, very peaceful, and they know what they want and who they want. So I believe the election will be very, very peaceful, credible. I went through the whole process of accreditation before casting my vote, and I believe the INEC officials will do the same at every location. So I want to believe that the process will be very, very transparent, credible, and conclusive at the end of it.
Things are not working. It took more than 10 minutes to capture me. Who is the candidate of the PDP? So all of us here, you can see the drama. And a lot of complaints here and there. If INEC cannot successfully organize election in one state, just one state, then even me who is contesting election can experience this up to 10 minutes before I could be allowed to cast my vote. A lot of women will just let me go back to my house. I think it's deliberate on the part of INEC, on the part of the REC. And we have said this several times. We don't trust Barrister Olatoni Abalola, that this woman cannot be fair. The system is compromised. I have series of calls today, and I make calls to everybody.
There's an incident happened at Ofushun. They deliberately moved to somebody's house and break the house in order to chase the man out so that he will not have confidence to vote. And that happened at Ofushun. So I hope that it won't be more than that, because according to what they have been saying, they said that they won't allow anybody to come out and vote. And most especially in the villages, because they know that the people in the village, they're always scared. So I hope they will still maintain the peace, but we already know that they have occupied everywhere. Since yesterday, APC have brought a lot of trucks with food, with buses. They came in with different buses.
As far as I am concerned, no touch around, no talk around. You can see yourself. Did you see any talk around now? Did you see anybody holding gun or holding cutlasses? So whoever has said that, maybe I've gotten that plan and try to unleash terror on others. I don't know.
INEC has performed beautifully well this time around. The security architecture is superb. You can see we have about 4 regular policemen, 2 civil defense officers, and other officers around. Then we have been visited by other law enforcement agents within it. So our people are okay. And we can see the military. They are down there, at least to forestall any breakdown of law and order. And that has made people to come out.
Network is not functioning here. They have been destroyed for network here. We don't know what is happening. And in Unit 6, Ward 10 at Owena Road. So even my boys here have even sent the data to them. And yet they are still complaining. We don't know what to do. They are breaking for about 2 hours now. So the thing is not moving. And the voters are ready to vote. And there is no network. What can we do?
Still on the elections, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the election, DIG S.A. Alabi, says so far the election is being conducted in a peaceful atmosphere. DIG Alabi stated this in an interview with journalists while monitoring the exercise in polling units along Akure South, North and other local government areas of the state. According to him, the deployment of the 22,293 personnel for the election is just to provide adequate security for both election officers, voters and observers. DIG Alabi maintains that with the reinforcement of security measures, he is confident of a peaceful exercise even until the end of the election.
I mean, we don't expect them to form any trouble because if anybody tries that, he asks us to contend with. We will not allow it to happen. That's the reason why you have seen, the deployment here. We don't want, anybody to truncate the electoral process. I've already given the advice I want to give to them. For them to be alert to their responsibility. They are here to protect the INEC officials, the vote cast, for it to be properly counted. That's the end of them being posted here, to maintain law and order, to ensure that there is peace, conducive atmosphere for people to come out and exercise their civic rights.
Officials of the Department of State Services, DSS, have arrested a suspected vote buyer at the ongoing Ondo governorship election. The suspect was captured with 2 bags of money, which are suspected to be for the inducement of voters in the election. He was arrested at Ward 4, polling unit 007, outside St. Stephen's Primary School, Akure, Ondo State, around 9 a.m. on election day.
Yes. The boot is there. Open them. Open the boot. One guy say, oh, very down. Kilo. Move back.
Open this boot. Open it from inside. Open this back. Hey, open. Open this back.
Still in the southwest, over in Ogun State, the People's Democratic Party have expressed concerns over distribution of 2 result sheets instead of 1 to polling units. The party also questioned the credibility of the election due to the late distribution of materials. Reports the election officials were still collecting materials from the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission office in Abeokuta, the state capital, as at 7:32 a.m., just minutes before the scheduled 8 a.m. starting time. Speaking with journalists, the PDP state agent, Waliu Oladipopo, expressed worries over the development, emphasizing that this irregularity could undermine the integrity of the electoral process. He noted that the shortcomings will disenfranchise many voters.
My observation so far was that I have been here since yesterday morning, and in the distribution of non-sensitive materials, I discovered especially the from EC8A and other ones whatsoever that we used to record results. So these result sheets were actually given in 2 copies, which make me to be doubting that this election might not be credible because they might have another plan to use the remaining one, in another area. So then, secondly, the voters will be disenfranchised, basically because the number of ballot papers available. For example, Abeokuta North is a 338 polling units, so you are giving 300 ballot booklets.
A 42-year-old woman, nurse Alice Loksha, has regained her freedom 6 years after her abduction by Boko Haram insurgents in Borno State. Speaking with newsmen in Maiduguri, the state capital, on Friday, the third commander of the Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai Northeast, Major General Wahid Shoibu, explained that Boko Haram captured Loksha in 2018 while she was working at a UNICEF office in Kalabalge. Represented by his deputy, Major General Kenneth Chibo, the commander also announced the escape of another abducted woman, Fayina Ali, captured by Boko Haram insurgents in 2020 while traveling from Kaduna to process her late brother's death benefits. While lamenting that both abductees were forced into marriage with the insurgents while in captivity, Major General Chibo added that both women have undergone traumatic experiences and have shown remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. The Borno State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Zuwaira Gambo, who received the abductees on behalf of the state government, commended the Nigerian Army for restoring peace in the Northeast region and Borno State in particular.
These are all handiwork of the terrorists that continue to expose their devilish act and ill intentions towards innocent civilians, the so-called terrorists. We see them as our brothers, and we will never get tired of urging them to come out and embrace peace, because that's the only way forward.
We also celebrate the government of Borno State through our governor for the synergy that exists between the military and the government. Because without the enabling environment, Borno State won't be enjoying the peace and stability we are witnessing today. It is that singular commitment and political will of the government that our sisters are able to escape, to be received by the military and officially being handed over today to the Borno State government. You can see they have been properly taken care of. If you see them on the road, you won't know they're even coming out of Sambisa. And that is because of the care they were given by the military.
Now, the air component of Operation Fasinyama has dismantled a major bandit enclave located within Dunya Hill and Batona Forest in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. The Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Lushola Akimboyewa, made this known in a statement on Saturday in Abuja. Akimboyewa said the strategic airstrikes were conducted on November 12 in furtherance of the intense air interdiction campaign in Northwest nicknamed Operation Faratal Mujiya. According to him, the affected areas have long served as safe havens for bandit groups due to their dense vegetation and the natural protection provided by an array of caves. He said the objective of the airstrikes was to dismantle the entrenched criminal networks and degrade their capacity to operate effectively. Still in security, Kaduna Police Command, through Operation Fushinkada, has arrested 6 kidnappers, a cattle rustler, and 5 suspects involved in vandalism. The operations also led to the recovery of a locally made firearm and charms. In a statement, the command's public relations officer, ASP Mansur Hassan, said 4 members of a kidnapping syndicate were apprehended in Rahama and Dunsinwai villages, as well as in nearby areas. The police spokesman also stated that in a separate operation, officers in Ikara local government area arrested 2 members of a gang that has been terrorizing residents. According to him, the suspects, Suraj Hassan and Abdul Hadri Usman, admitted to multiple kidnappings and robberies, including one case where a victim was held for 60 days before an 8 million naira ransom was paid. Both suspects disclosed that they received 1 million naira each as their share. Over in Edo State, operatives of the police command have rescued a 14-month-old baby, Grace Osomagbe, who was abducted by her nanny, Rejoice Chukwu, in April. The State Commissioner of Police, Umoru Ozigi, told newsmen on Saturday in Benin that the Anti-Kidnapping and Cybercrime Unit arrested Chukwu, aged 24, and her boyfriend, Destiny Uchechukwu, aged 28, in Uyo, Akwa Ibom. According to Ozigi, the suspects abducted the child in Benin and collected a ransom of 160,000 naira. The police commissioner explained that the suspects will soon be charged to court. To more stories. Here in the FCT, some residents have expressed dissatisfaction with the shortage of cash in circulation, as well as the increase in point-of-sale, popularly called POS, charges. According to them, automated teller machine ATMs within the city center have consistently remained cashless as banks struggle with low cash supply. Trust TV's Antonia Eboham reports that residents even claim that banks have started rationing cash and restricting maximum over-the-counter withdrawals to a daily limit of between 5,000 naira and 20,000 naira. Here's her report.
The current cash scarcity in Nigeria is gradually becoming intense, with citizens expressing their frustrations over their inability to easily access cash for their daily transactions. This development is gradually resulting in shortage of cash as many automated teller machines remain cashless, thereby leaving customers with no other choice but to use other means of withdrawing cash. They lament that the scarcity in cash has an effect on the economy, especially those in business sector who need it for the day-to-day running of their businesses. According to them, most persons have money in their banks but cannot have access to it.
Actually, of a big fact, it can affect the economy because many people are in need of something. Maybe they want to use money to get something, but there is a kind of limitation of it, so they cannot be able to afford what they want to get with that. Many people are in need of money, but they cannot get in touch with. And to my own little opinion, I can just give a little advice that they should help us, because though we are in need, but they should still try their best to help us.
As many turn to POS operators for cash, charges have begun to surge as demand also grows. This, many say, eats into their cash.
I use POS, and they are all increasing their charges now, which does not all go well for my pocket. When you go to the banks, they will tell you their cash crunch, they don't have cash, and it's affecting a lot of people's business. You want to pay somebody with cash, the person that come to your office say, please, I need cash, I don't want transfer. You now tell him that, no, go back, I will transfer money to you. It can spoil the business. It's affecting the business.
The charge rate is still there, but the challenges that we are having now is the shortage of the money from bank. Money is not in circulation, which a lot of people, somebody will come, he wants to withdraw 100,000, you don't have to. And for you to go to bank, you can't get that 100,000. So it's affecting our business. They should make the currency available.
They advised the government to clear the air in order to avoid wrong speculations in a necessary increase in the charges of point-of-sales operators.
The CBN should come out and make things clear to people. Are you stopping old Naira notes? If not, let people know. It's all these things are artificial scarcity and wrong speculation. They are not even sure. And that's why you see POS operators, they will start charging more. So, they should come out clearly and let people know what's really going on.
I think the Central Bank of Nigeria is the regulatory authority for, for commercial banks in Nigeria. I think they have to call the bank managers. They have to address them. I think that issue, because when you talk about liquidity, it enables business to be run easily. We're talking about ease of doing business. Why I understand that, this cashless policy is a welcome development. But there are some cases, there are places where you also want to spend cash.
They want the government to take immediate measures to ensure that cash flows across the country.
In business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says it will heavily penalize Deposit money banks, DMBs, found supporting the hawking of naira notes. The Acting Director, Currency Operations Department, CBN, Solaja Olayemi, said this in a memo to DMBs on Friday in Abuja. Olayemi said the CBN would engage in mystery shopping exercise and periodic spot checks on cash distribution and disbursement activities of DMBs to ascertain the source of such naira notes. He said the initiatives were introduced to monitor and prevent practices that facilitate the flow of mint banknotes to hawkers of naira cash, thereby discouraging abuse of the naira. He said the initiatives would also ensure that DMB support efficient and responsible cash disbursement to the public. He urged DMBs to implement internal controls for responsible disbursement and accountability in respect of mint banknotes payouts at their outlets as the Yuletide season approached with an anticipated increase in cash demand. And away from Nigeria, the Gabonese government extended a night curfew on Saturday as they held a referendum on a new constitution. A ruling junta says will mark a new chapter after 55 years of dynastic rule in the oil-rich African nation. The estimated 860,000 registered voters have faced an onslaught of calls by authorities on TV, radio and social media to make their ballot count, whether they choose a green one meaning yes or a red one for no. Voting began late at several polling stations in the capital, Libreville, with papers still being handed out when the polls opened at 7 a.m. The 2,835 polling stations nationwide are due to remain open until 6 p.m. The junta on Saturday extended a night curfew by 2 hours, bringing it forward to midnight during the whole electoral process, according to a decree read on state television. The proposed constitution sets out the vision of a presidency with a maximum of 2 7-year terms, no prime minister, and no dynastic transfer of power. And in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation and Super Eagles players have commiserated with first-choice goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali following the death of his father on Friday morning. The Chippa United goalkeeper announced the sad news on his Instagram page with a heartfelt tribute writing, "Rest in peace, Dad." NFF General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi expressed shock at the timing of the death, which came a day after Nigeria sealed qualification for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Eagles captain William Trist Ekong led the tribute from teammates on social media, writing on Instagram, "Love you, my brother Nwabali, we are together." Fellow goalkeeper Amas Obasoge wrote, "My chief, I hold you close in our thoughts at this sad time. I am deeply sorry for your profound loss." Real Sociedad forward Sadiq Umar also lent his condolences, writing, "Stay strong, Nwabali." Indeed, stay strong, Nwabali. And that's it for news updates at this time. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, please do want to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Good evening.